Welcome back to my channel. My name's Ari. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm excited to be here, and I hope you are too. I want to dive into a topic today that sounds a bit niche, but it's not. So don't leave based on the title. Stay here, stay put. I'm excited to have this conversation with you and share some of my own experience in hopes that it can resonate with something you're going through or have gone through. Maybe it's something that'll happen in the future and you can look back on this and use it as a tool. I don't know. But today I'm gonna talk about what it's been like leaving my twin sister behind in Baltimore, Maryland. We've spent the majority of our 26 years together, living very similar lives. I know that sounds corny, cliche, but it's true. We are best friends. We are fraternal on paper, but gotta say, my whole life, I think we've been identical and we definitely need to retest. But we have shared the majority of our lives together. We do very similar things. We have very similar personalities, especially our sense of humor. So no doubt that it was easy for us to get along growing up, and we just grew closer as we got older. Anyways, leaving her was definitely new. So I want to talk a little bit about what I went through before I moved, during my move, and after, or I guess up until now. But this doesn't have to be, but this video isn't geared towards just a twin sister. This is geared towards a loved one, a family member, a friend, anyone in your life that you feel like was meant to be in your life forever, who you spent a lot of time with. It can be tough to leave that person, especially when they're not in immediate proximity, which has been probably the most challenging part. But I'll just get right into it. Oops. The emotional side was something that we were preparing ourselves for, I feel like pretty early on. I had been talking about moving for about a year prior before I actually made the move. As the time got closer and plans started solidifying more, the emotions began to come out early. So as a result, we knew they were coming. Not only are we more emotional in general, but both of us are very empathetic people. So if you're an empath, you know that other people's emotions trigger similar emotions in yourself sometimes. When she gets sad, I get sad, and vice versa. You know the drill. But as far as the emotions that came with knowing I was leaving and gearing up to leave, I almost feel like the weeks leading up to my move were worse than after, in a way. So by the time I actually got in the car and left, it almost felt like somewhat of relief that the event of leaving and saying goodbye was over with. I know I'm not the only one that's experienced that before. I've heard similar things about weddings, events. You're so excited for it. A lot of emotions come with it, and then by the time you're done, you're just kind of relieved that it's all taken care of, essentially. You know, we did live an hour apart from each other for about a year and a half before we even moved into a house in Baltimore together. So after college, there was a year and a half where we weren't within each other's immediate driving distance, or it just wasn't convenient to get to one another as easily as it used to be when we lived together. I would say that was a really good prequel. That was probably the best prequel we could have had prior to me actually moving, because it allowed us to learn how to be individuals the majority of the time and appreciate the time that we had together more when we did get to spend weekends together or something like that. So I really do feel like we were prepared somewhat well for it. It also does help that we're very open with one another, so communication is usually not a problem. In this case, the communication that we had throughout, you know, the months and weeks leading up to moving was very healthy and really helped support us in the process along the way. In general, I feel like we were more excited for each other than anything. She was really excited for me. I mean, it's a big step in life. If your sister wasn't excited for you, I would be a little bit concerned. Ew, I said that like a baby. I would be a little bit concerned, but she was so supportive. I mean, she knew I wasn't necessarily happy in the season that I was in prior. I was looking for something different. I was looking for change. So there was no way in heck that she was gonna hold me back from that. She's been the most amazing support system. So the discussions we were having were also very exciting. It wasn't just gloom and doom all the time, or I'm sad, that sort of thing. It wasn't like that all the time. Majority, it was excitement. Honestly, that part of it was a bit different than what I expected it to be. I kind of, you know, expected more consistent sad emotions, but that's a good thing. I count that as a win, so winning. The first 3 months after I left were the most difficult. We knew we were going to see each other in a few months regardless, but after about a week or so of settling in and both of us knowing we were each in our own brand new routine, it did feel icky for a while. There were days that I would come home and call her, or she would call me and just say, I'm sad, I just want to hear your voice. That is so normal. In fact, how beautiful that you have somebody in your life that just wants to hear your voice and the sound of it brings some comfort. I feel the same way about her. I love that we chose to embrace that and use it to pick each other up. I think that's very important in all of this. You can be sad, but you have to help each other move forward and navigate it, because it's not like it's gonna change anytime soon. So it's important to validate the way that they're feeling, or I'm feeling, or whoever is involved in the situation, but it's also important to nudge them forward and yourself forward in the process by using it to make you stronger and know how to deal with the reoccurring emotions that might come to follow that. So I wouldn't even really say my lifestyle changed too much, other than the fact that I had no job and spent the first 4 months just working out all day. Not all day, but you know what I mean. I stayed busy. In general though, I think I've seen two big changes day to day. One, I went from living a life with my twin sister, who is also a female, to living with my boyfriend, who clearly isn't female. Cringe. So realistically, men and women just operate differently. Emotionally, logically, we think very different. The emotions that we feel throughout our day are completely different than one another. That in itself is a big change, but I also think it's beautiful because I'm applying the skills that I've learned through sharing a life with somebody else to now applying it to my own relationship, which I'll be with this person for the rest of my life. So it is cool to see myself kind of, I don't want to say I'm perfect at living with somebody or sharing a life with someone, but I definitely know, or at least have a sense of how to live respectfully, how to live conjointly together, help each other. You guys, the way I'm about to throw a hissy fit, if my batteries don't last through filming this video. Ooh, it's flashing red. Okay, so that's been cool. I have seen myself grow a lot in being able to transfer those skills to somebody else and sharing a life with someone else. Guys, the way that my battery died again. The second big change that I've seen is the amount of alone time that I've spent with myself since moving down here. To me, this was the scariest change of the two. I never quite spent so much time in my own mind before. It makes it sound like someone else is doing the talking for me, but in reality, I really didn't spend much time alone. I was always with a coworker, a friend, or her when I came home at night, because we lived together most of our lives. It was scary to me more so because I've struggled with overthinking in the past. It's something that I'm continuously working on. So this was a huge opportunity for me to grow mentally and grow comfortable with my own thoughts and myself. That sounds so weird, but it's true. It's almost like I'm getting to know myself all over again and learn to trust myself. But it's been great. We trust others so easily sometimes and struggle so much with sitting with ourselves and trusting ourselves to make the right decisions throughout our days. So it's been a really eye-opening for me, especially when until about a month ago I was working 2 jobs an hour plus apart from each other. So I really had some time to spend alone. Some days were great, some days I craved the alone time, and others I missed being around my friends and family and just having that support around me. It's very new. But in order to get through the uncomfortableness of loneliness, I really managed to get through it by prioritizing my time, journaling, praying, just utilizing that time the best I can to heal and grow stronger mentally up here. And that's done me wonders. I've been very intentional about it. It has not been easy whatsoever, but I can tell you I've progressed a lot more in the last few months by being forced to sit with myself, as opposed to before when I had to find time and I wasn't really good at that. So blessing in disguise for sure. It's been my mission since moving to Florida to learn how to take care of myself in the way that my expectations are met. I literally hear my cat crying out the door. Am I just horrible if I just want to leave it shut? I have to go get her. And then as soon as I bring her in, she's gonna want to leave again. So let me go get her so that she can come in and then leave again. Sometimes I just miss. All right, bye-bye. As I was saying, again, I've really made it my mission to prioritize my mental and physical health in that order. I have failed so many times trying to do that in the reverse. I thought if I looked skinny, I would feel good. 8 months later, after putting my mind first, I still look and feel physically better than I ever have in my entire life. If there's any advice I can give you through this experience, it's put your mental first, the rest will follow. Your mind is what you have to live with the rest of your life. Everything else changes, including your body. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? And then she's gonna be out the door again. Bye. Anyone else? Anyone else deal with that? Anyone else? I do love her though. You know how it goes. With pets and fur widdens and fur babies. So all of that being said, how did we maintain our relationship over the last 8 months so well? I can tell you it's stronger than ever. If anything, we're pushing each other more with distance in between us. I think the separation was necessary, and I think she'll say the same thing, not in an unhealthy way. In fact, the complete opposite. It's been very healthy for us to learn how to manage on our own completely without being in each other's immediate proximity. But one big way that we continue to make this easier is we try to have something planned ahead of time where we know we're gonna see each other. For Christmas, she's amazing. She booked a trip for us in May to go to Ireland together with some of our friends. Incredible. I could not ever ask for something like that. She was so generous in gifting that to me this year. But similarly, when we left Ireland in July, we knew we were gonna see each other over Christmas. It just gives you something to look forward to. It's not really anything huge. You don't even have to book everything right away, but plan something ahead of time, even if it's 6 months, maybe even a year. Have something on the books where you know you're going to see each other. It makes the anticipation a little bit, I feel like it just takes the anxiety away from the anticipation of when am I going to see this person again. Realizing that those people were put in your life for a reason and they're not going anywhere. Day to day, everyone's busy, everyone works, everyone's got their own stuff going on. So in retrospect, you might not have that significant of a change other than not seeing them every single day. Keep in communication. If you're feeling sad and you want to just call them or text them, do that. There's no harm in it. You just have to make sure that you're not weighing each other down in the process of growing through it together. It can actually bring you guys closer by continuing to challenge the other one on learning more about themselves and their emotions and what they mean and gearing them towards something positive or in the positive direction. I feel like God always shows a little rainbow in uncertain situations. My kind of unexpected silver lining from moving down here was really having a clearer picture of how I want to spend my time, my artistic interests, combining those things potentially, and learning how to be creative in my own life. In the same breath, creating the life that I want that's also artistic. Living with EJ has taught me so much. We were raised differently. We both have gone through very different experiences the last 8 years since we've been together. Without saying too much, living with him alone has taught me that I'm capable of creating any kind of life that I want. It's not going to be easy starting from the bottom, but now that I'm 8 months into this move, I can say with confidence that I'm way more excited about the unknown now than I ever was with my predictable daily routine. Yes, I have a routine. Yes, I have a job. That doesn't change, but my creativity has been unlocked here. Therefore, I'm always itching to go and poke in another direction, whether that's photography, social media, you name it. I don't think that chamber is being locked up anytime soon in my brain. So it's very exciting for me to feel like it's a natural sort of thing coming out of me that I've never seen before, at least in this way and in this perspective. Change is good. Change can be very good if you can lock in on the tools that you have throughout all your experiences in order to make this next present season better for yourself and more exciting than it ever was before. So there you have it. There's my take on my personal experience leaving a loved one, more specifically my twin sister. I can tell you that today we're both doing great. We are just so supportive of one another and really want to see the other thrive as an individual, and even more so as an individual now. So I hope that you can take even a piece of this and apply it to your own situation. Love is in the air no matter what. That person is always with you, and just have faith that you guys can turn what seems like an ugly situation into a beautiful one. That person's gonna stick with you for the rest of your life. They're going to be in your life in just a different way now. And how exciting is it to see how you both have changed and progressed when you do get to come together again. Embrace the sad emotions. Definitely embrace the negative, as in feel them. Don't let them fester inside. That doesn't do anybody any good. Just, they're so normal. Half the time we're so afraid of our negative emotions just because we think they're not normal when we're human, and there's no reason for you to hide that, even if you feel like it's going to put a burden on the other person. If it's the right person, they'll love you through anything, and they'll sit there with you and grow with you. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you stuck around after you saw the title. If you did, kudos. Pass this on to somebody else that might need to hear some positivity today. I say this at the end of all of my videos, but I truly do mean it. If there's someone in your mind that may be even potentially dealing with something like this, just send it. What's the big deal? Even if the person doesn't watch it, just send it to somebody you love so that they can feel that love from you. I really enjoyed this topic today. I almost feel like I've gotten a personal weight off my chest. Hopefully it's useful to you in some way, shape, or form. So I will see you guys next week. If you ever have any suggestions on fun or difficult / interesting topics that I can cover on my channel, let me know. I will see you guys next week, and until then, enjoy your weekend, be safe, and I love you all.